great Charles Barkley, NBA on TNT, joining us from New York City. Dwight Howard going back home tonight. What do you think's going to happen, Charles?
I think it's going to be fun. I do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, obviously they're going to boo him. And listen, Dwight's a great kid, but he made a lot of mistakes in the last year, the way he's been publicly perceived. But I think they're going to boo him pretty good. And it's a shame because he's a great kid and a great player. But he's been very annoying the last year, to be honest with you, and you know that, Dan.
Is he a leader?
No.
Is he capable?
You know, I'm not sure, because the one thing you got to be as a leader, you got to be mentally tough, because everybody's going to follow behind you. You know, we've had this ongoing thing going the last couple of years on our show, because Shaq and him got something going on, and I've been a really big Dwight Howard fan, but I'm starting to be concerned, can he be your best player? Because the number one thing your best player got to be, he's got to be mentally tough.
If you're the GM of the Lakers, do you want to sign him to a long-term deal? If you're Mitch Kupchak.
I don't think you have a choice. I don't think you have a choice, to be honest with you. I mean, because Kobe Bryant obviously is getting up there in age. He's one of the 5 best players in the NBA. I don't think you have a choice. I think you have to sign him.
Kobe's going to join us in the final hour of the show, and I'm not sure what role Kobe plays. I'm going to ask him that. And it's been tough love, though, and at times I think too tough for Dwight Howard. You sort of have to know your teammates. Certain guys, you used to pick on certain guys. Other guys you knew couldn't handle that. And I think Kobe is learning that.
First of all, I 100% agree with you. And when I became the leader of a team, that was hard for me, because I'm a yeller and a screamer. Like, if somebody yells at me, I used to, Dan Marley, Greg Mahorn, Mike Jamish, when they yell at me, it made me play better. But when you become the leader of a team, everybody can't be yelled at. And like I say, I'm starting to be concerned about Dwight. Dwight needs to be pat on the back all the time. So I think it's been a very rough go for him in L.A., to be honest with you.
He's Charles Barkley, NBA on TNT, joining us for the Dan Patrick Show. DeAndre Jordan posterizing Brandon Knight. Well, let me ask you your thought. When you first saw it, your reaction was what?
Well, you know what's funny? I got posterized by Chris Webber, and it was kind of like the exact same situation. Like, I was going to foul him, but he took the ball behind his back and posterized me. I thought Brandon Knight was trying to foul him and just got caught. He kind of just caught in no man's land. But it's no big deal, man. Everybody get dunked on.
But we're talking.
When I first got to the NBA, I said nobody was going to dunk on me. But after you get dunked on like the first 5 or 6 times, it's no big deal.
What I think is interesting, though, with this, Charles, is we're talking about the guy who got dunked on instead of the guy who did the dunk.
Well, because, you know, he got so much talent as a player. I mean, he got so much talent as a player, but he's so incomplete as a player. Like, he does those fantastic dunks, but he's got so far to go as a player. I think it's frustrating watching him as a player, because he's got such a high upside, but he's probably only like 20-30% full as a player. So I think he's kind of frustrating, to be honest with you.
Well, he grew up in the highlight era where the Clippers make highlights. I don't know if they're. Yeah. I don't know how good a team they are, and that
they're not a good team. The toughest guy on their team is 5'10". That's Chris Paul. You know, he's the best leader we got in the NBA. He used to be Jason Kidd, in my opinion, but now is Chris Paul. But I don't think they have a good team at all, to be honest with you. I think they're great for the ESPN generation to make highlights.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're mentally tough enough to go past the first or second round of the playoffs.
Well, more dangerous come postseason time, the Clippers or the Lakers?
That's a great question. Probably the Lakers, to be honest with you. I don't think the Lakers can win, because I've said for weeks, I think San Antonio, Memphis, and Oklahoma City are the 3 best teams in the West by far. But I think the Lakers could win a series, but I don't think they're a legitimate contender.
Got the Heat playing again tonight, trying to keep the streak alive. They got the Hawks at home. How impressive is this streak to you?
Well, it's impressive to win those amount of games. I mean, to win those amount of games is impressive. But, I mean, realistically, man, the NBA is so watered down right now. I mean, in the East, you got the Pacers and the Bulls if Derrick Rose come back in the East. In the West, you got three teams: Memphis, Oklahoma City, and San Antonio, and the rest of these teams. I love the Denver Nuggets too. I got to give them some love, but that's pretty much it. To be honest with you.
What would you do if you're Derrick Rose? Given that okay, first of all, how does the doctor clear you? We get that information. I think that was unfair to Derrick Rose. So the doctor is medically
I don't know if
cleared
it's
him.
unfair. I think Derrick Rose got to try to come back if you can play. Listen, you can't. I think always, if it's interesting. The kid Iman Shumpert blew out his knee at the exact same time as Derrick Rose, and he's back now. I think if Derrick Rose waiting for all the stars to be aligned correctly, they're never going to be aligned correctly. Like, you get hurt, you rehab, and you come back and try to play. And I think he has to do that. I mean, he can't wait till all the stars are aligned correctly. You got to try to play, plain and simple.
I still don't understand what happened with the Knicks with Melo, and I don't know if you can explain it. That he said he wanted to come out of the game against Cleveland. His knee hurt. Mike Woodson said I was stubborn. I kept him in. Then he falls down, gets hurt, and then doesn't play for a couple of games. Does come back last night, but they got blown out. What's going on here?
I don't know what that was weird. I'm not sure what exactly was happening with that situation, but the Knicks to me they're like the Clippers. They're not legitimate contenders. They got a decent little team, but they're not legitimate contenders. So I'm not a big believer in the Knicks, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't like the mix that they had, and the fact that Carmelo and Amari couldn't be on the floor at the same time. I thought age was going to catch up. Lack of defense was going to catch up. You only got one tough guy there with Tyson Chandler in the middle, but
I agree with you. I said from the beginning. And people said I was hating on the Knicks when they were like on a roll. I said they were living by threes, and I always say you don't live by threes, you die by threes. I love Tyson Chandler, but I didn't think they don't rebound the ball at all. So I said they're not going to win. Even when they were on a roll, I said they can't win like that because you're not going to win by just shooting threes. And now if you look at their record, they've been 500 basically for the last 2 months. They get up to an amazing start, but they've been about 500 for the last 2 months, and that's the team I think you got.
College hoops, you guys getting ready for March Madness? You doing your homework?
I am doing my homework right now, but it's going to be interesting this year, Dan, because it's probably like 2 years ago, there was probably like 15 teams could win it, and the 15th team won it, Connecticut. Last year, Kentucky was a lock, and this year, there's probably 15 teams that can win it. And anybody tell you they know who's going to win, they're full of it. I thought coming into the season, Louisville was the best team, and there's, to me, you look at Cal, John Calipari, but they can't win it because they don't have enough firepower. But Rick Pitino, Tom Izzo, and the coach at Kansas, Bill Self, they're, to me, the best three in-game coaches in the league. They make adjustments on the fly. So those are my three favorites going in. But if anybody wanted, and the guy Gonzaga, Mark Few's a terrific coach also. But I don't think anybody got any idea who's going to win.
All right, well, have fun. I got Gretzky coming up next hour.
Oh, tell the great one I said hello.
Okay, he was telling me a story now, I don't want you to tell it. I'm going to let him tell it. But he went to your house for dinner, and he was laughing, telling me the story, laughing out loud hysterically at something that happened at your house.
Yeah, because I call myself the great one.
No, you can't tell the story.
Okay, let him tell it.
Yeah, that's called a tease.
Okay, I'm sorry. My bad, Dan.
Okay.
Hey, tell the Danettes, tell those girls I said hello to.
All right. Danettes Charles says hello. Did you ever skate before? You ever been on ice skates?
I'm black, Dan.
Well, what does that have to do with being on skates?
Black people don't skate. We don't skate. We don't ski. We don't skate, Dan.
I could see you playing hockey, though. You'd be an enforcer.
No. Well, I've never been on skates in my life. No skates, no skiing for the brothers, man.
Are you allowed to reach out to Tiger after the win against Doral? Have you been in touch at all?
Oh, I've been. Is it 89 or is it 89 when you getting counseled? Hey, I'm happy for him. I'm a Tiger Woods fan, but I'm on the list. He don't talk to anymore. It's all good, dude. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's doing well.
You mean 86 you?
86 me. I see. I don't know it. Thought it was 69.
No, it wasn't. So Tiger 86'd you.
Okay. Yeah, it was a lot more fun when I was 69 ago.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us as always. Good to talk to you.
All right, my brother. Be safe.
All right. Thank you, Charles. Charles Barkley.